deal, UMG. All right. I don't know why people thought Drake was gonna eventually. And by the way, this is one of the first and few deals that Drake has actually that's actually been announced. I've heard Drake has re-upped at least 3 times for Universal. He's just always fucking. He's pretty much. It's not the first time he's renegotiating this deal. However, this is the one that they want to report the biggest on because apparently there's some ground change in numbers. Also, from what I'm hearing, it's not like a 360, but it's like almost like giving Drake his own management or like production company. So basically, UMG wants to fund anything that Drake wants to do. So if Drake wants to do if he wants to do Top Boy Toronto, they're down to just give him a blank check to be like, yo, just write the budget here and we'll pay for it. Granted that we could get a part of it. You get what I mean? Which, it's kind of like, it's what's called a production deal kind of, which I think this deal that Drake got with Universal is super unique, right? Drake confirmed exclusively to me like probably a year ago or so that his deal with Republic and UMG owns Republic, consisted, or this new arrangement consisted of his masters being owned partly by his own imprint, OVO Sound. So his own imprint, OVO Sound, from here on out will always own a part of the masters. UMG will own the other part. For him, I think it's a play of trying to set up his assets for later on to leverage his catalog. We've seen the likes of Prince, the Beatles, we've seen Michael Jackson and other legendary acts at a certain point after their career either ended or they died or whatever the case is. What the big conversations became about, and even sometimes while they're living, but later on in life when they're not as active anymore, is their catalog. I think as artists get older, they try to get their catalog. You get me? For example, I think Kanye really wants to buy his catalog from Atlantic. He wants to own it. It's going to be very valuable if he owns his catalog. Now, owning the rights to your music is different than publishing. There's two different things. And essentially, I'm simplifying a lot. If you own your masters, these companies are pretty much only distributing your shit at that point and doing administrative shit, which, just allows you to make way more money off your own music, right? The reason why most signed artists don't make a lot of money off their own music, you don't own your masters, and whatever money you took up front or whatever the royalty rate is just not going to suffice you not owning the product. You get me? At least when you're successful like Drake. So if you ask me, and by the way, I think this $400 million is speculation, but I do know Lucian Grange, whatever Drake wanted, he would have gave. So that's why I think it's speculation. I think if Drake said, nigga, I'm not re-signing for less than $500 million, I think they're giving Drake the $500 million. Now, it's not going to be up front. And that's why with these big numbers, like, we're hypnotized to believe it's up front. It's not. I'll try to read some more of this. So I should go to the source of all this. All right. Really? I don't think they ever said a number. And unless like some real insider said it, like that article quoted Lemon Pepper Freestyle. Like Drake said, like, yo, 360 up front, it all comes full circle. You get me? And I don't necessarily think it's $360 million. You know what I mean? Again, I really think it's more. But I think it's just a clever bar. I don't think it necessarily really outlines what his deal is. So I can't really use that. The announcement of his deal, though, came through UMG. So Universal Music Group is a publicly traded company they had a call recently. And by the way, if you're not into the stock market, which I am, like I'm significant shareholders in certain companies. Like they allow you to like not only listen to quarterly calls, but also you can vote. Like I have some pretty decent. I don't know if it's size votes or amount of votes. I don't know how it goes, but I have voting power with certain shares that I own for certain stocks, which most of y'all should have. Like, you know what I mean? Like sometimes they might have like, oh, you have to own a certain amount to be able to vote, but whatever the case. Anyway, the point is this. UMG had their quarterly meeting. They basically said that they're doing great. They basically said, yo, the music business is fucking booming. I'm going to try to pull it up. UMG quarterly. Yeah. You go here, right here. This is where it all came from, right? Okay, bingo. Here you go. Summary of Q1 results. Revenue of music. Pretty much they said, and this is in pounds, so it's about like so it's about 3 billion. So they say 2,199, which is probably about 2,000 million is 1 billion. This is pounds, so you put it to US, it's about like 3 billion. So revenue of 3 billion, representing growth over a 16.5% year over year. Constant currency, which means pretty much, I'm trying to just simplify the bullshit to y'all. The music industry is making more money. So from last year to this year, they made more money, which for shareholders, it means the music industry is either, if it's not profitable already for the shareholders, it's going to be more profitable in the future, whatever the case is, right? So it's a good thing. Recorded music revenue grew this, blah, blah, da, da, da. So this is how these calls go. I've sat on a call for like Microsoft before. You know what I mean? I've sat on a call for like a bunch of companies actually, just to kind of like see what they're about. And they'll tell you like, hey, so like for example, if you sit on a call for like Spotify, like, hey, we had this amount of subscribers last year. We had this amount. They'll give you some stats that you won't really know unless you're in the company, right? That's why quarterly earnings definitely dictate stock price and this and third and predictions and whatever the case is. Then he mentions Drake. So the reason why Drake and The Weeknd is mentioned is that Drake and The Weeknd are significant drivers of Universal Music Group's revenue. These are two big artists. They're both signed. Is it Monty Littman? That's let me see who runs Republic Records CEO. Who is it? Yeah, Monty Littman. He runs Republic. Nicki's under here. Drake is under here. Post Malone is under here. The Weeknd is under here. Republic really got the big ones. You feel me? So while trying to, and these calls that's quarterly, is trying to like convince people like, yo, this is like, we're profitable, we're doing good, everybody pat yourself on the back. And they mentioned that they signed Drake to an extension and they signed The Weeknd to an extension. So that's where this info came from. I don't know if I can find it here or maybe it's on the audio call. Usually it's on the audio. Yeah, I see that they say Taylor Swift right there. I see they say, look, so Taylor, so they talk about Taylor with vinyl. Okay, but they're talking about Q1 though. Okay. All right, so it's probably on the longer call because this was only about Q1. Yeah, I think on the call he mentioned the Drake thing and people just took it, right? Anyway, they announced that they signed The Weeknd to a deal. We don't know how much The Weeknd's deal is. I think we don't know how much Drake deal is either. If you're asking me, you want me to ballpark it? It's definitely gonna be 9 figures. If it's 300 million for 3 years, well, it'll be. It's so hard to like predict on these type of things. Like, yo, how much albums is Drake required to give? How frequently? What's considered an album? Could he drop like 2 mixtapes next year and an album top of the year, and he's good? Like it's weird. So like, without real information, I can't even say how much money he's getting. But what do I think Drake is worth to Republic? Every fucking coin. You know what I mean? So like, if they have secured him for a couple of albums, like these days, I would think Let me see what's one album probably worth for a fucking Drake. Like say CLB, like what would be the advance? Let's just forget about the fact that he owns part of his masters now. So let's just say Republic owned the whole thing. I don't know. Let me see. I could see Drake getting 50 to 60 million an album. Shit, the album going to be probably the biggest selling album of the year. 50 to 60 million, I could see it. Now, that's only Drake, right? I think The Weeknd could pull something like that too because his singles are just ridiculous. I know his album didn't sell too well, but yeah, I could see it too. Look at Drake IG story. Champagne Poppy. Let's see. Sometimes all you need is $500 million. I'm going to be honest. I'm going with Drake said. That nigga got 500. Honestly, though, half a B for Drake. It got to be for 5 years. It got to be for 5 years. I'm thinking. You give him half a B. Let's rock out till 2027. Give us five. No, he ain't gonna give us 5 projects. Give us 3 projects, 2 mixtapes. Also, I think a lot of that money. Well, I think they had details on it. Let me see. Variety reported. Let me go to the Variety report. Variety. Salute to Variety, by the way. Variety Drake. Okay, it's multifaceted. Here we go. You would know it from Lucian's grain tone in the Universal Music Q1 earning calls, but the chairman of the biggest company confirmed what's long had been expected. You never know, but never to be announced. That Drake had entered into an expansive, multifaceted deal with the company that encompasses recordings, publishing, merchandise, and visual projects. Right? I ain't gonna lie to you, but it sounds super ignorant for me to say. This sounds like a 360, but who get like you see people vilify 360s? Nigga, who gives a fuck about a 360 if you get $500 million, nigga? Right? And I know some people like, yo, why didn't Drake go like, yo, why didn't it go all motherfucking just independent? You could make $1 billion if you, bro. Like, do you know how, yo, Drake is like he's a behemoth, like, operation and machine. It doesn't just take like a team of 15 to make Drake happen. It takes an entire fucking building. Such expanded portfolios that Grange noted in the call, spanning multiple creative lanes and revenue streams, also include the recently announced extension with The Weeknd. Oh. They said Drake deal was completed in 2021. So basically, Universal got a piece of Drake's publishing, which, okay. Now it makes sense. Because, you see, the $500 million is hard to make it make sense when Drake only drops once every 3 years, right? He drops an album. But he kind of drops an... Now, I think most of y'all know the difference between, like, publishing and shit like that. But publishing a lot when you control the majority of music that's get played all over the place and that people are going to be licensed and shit like that, which people listen to Drake like it's like a religion. It's easy to make a lot of money. Okay. Of course, the nagging question is how big is Drake's bag? One insider describes the arrangement as LeBron size without putting a number on it. Drake has seemingly referenced such deal and whatever. 360 all up front, it all comes full circles. I think Drake is fucking with people. He said the 360 number. Everybody started reporting that. Now he put up on his Instagram 500 million. Who cares though? It's definitely in the hundreds of millions. Since 2014, he's moved blah blah da 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 da. To estimate Drake's music could bring in 50 million annually is no stretch, say sources, and a deal could be in the vicinity of 400 million or more isn't either. For UMG, which is traded on Euronext exchange, huh? Wait, isn't UMG publicly traded? Oh yeah, it is. It's only euros. Ain't it on NASDAQ? All right, anyway. Okay, cool. All right, but yeah. Okay. So the point what I'm trying to say, man, is that if you ask me, man, I think Drake getting at least. I think. Listen, I'm a pocket watcher, so let me just start counting Drake's cash right now. I think Drake close to $1 billion. All right. I think Drake just got $500 million from Lucian Grange. I think Drake getting $150 million from Stake. I think Drake about to go on tour and get another fucking $100 million. I think Drake is pushing it close to. Now he probably spends shit ton of money. He flies around in a fucking cargo jet, and his fucking $100 million crib. From what I hear, you need a fucking staff to do upkeep there. So he probably still spends a lot of money, but I think Drake in the next 2 years is gonna make $1 billion in his career. Now, does he have $1 billion? I think that's different. Will he have ran through $1 billion or made $1 billion? Yes. Two different things. You know what I mean? If I analyze the money I've made versus the money I've retained, two different things, right? But congratulations to Drake. Somebody said, no, he ain't. Bro, I'm telling you, bro. Nigga, I know Stake is paying that nigga a bag. I don't want to talk numbers because it's just too. First, I'm trying to get a bag with Stake too, man. Fuck all that shit. I seen Drake. Nigga, I looked at. This is why I knew Drake was getting the bag from Stake. I'm trying to get the Drake bag. What the fuck? What the fuck is this? Just ask you a question? All right, fuck that. Once I seen this, Drake got this as his first two things in his bio. And every 2 days that nigga's gambling. He ain't gambling for fun, nigga. That boy getting to the bag. Yo, I got it. Yo. Yeah, me and Steak. Yo, listen, if y'all see me doing some little gambling on here, man, fuck that, man. Y'all better not bitch or moan. Nigga, there was some stream. You know I stopped because some streamers, like people like, oh, no, streamers shouldn't do it, whatever. Then Drake does it. I'm like, nigga, if the biggest rapper in the world do it, nigga, yo, don't stop my bag. They got 109 million followers. He be courtside of the game with his little laptop playing Stake. You look at his fucking highlighters, it says Stake. Like, nah, man, that nigga getting a bag, boy. Somebody said Aiden getting, nigga, you stupid as hell if you think Aiden getting that, nigga. Aiden getting way more, and I know it's a fact. That's why I know that Drake getting to the bag. My boy Drake, man.